All three of them? The guy in the middle.
That'll make them easy to move it.
You can keep that thing.
Two extra chairs to take. Well, looks like somebody else made my
This chair's my corner.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll hide behind the. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I know a lot of people
It's the same thing. It's just
I gave a cool guy.
We'll make sure that they understand they'll do that.
Yeah. Many guys are I'm trying to figure out why I got
We're good right now.
Can you get my name?
I mean, it's impressive. Yeah, they have I'm good.
I have to work. I know they're all hot. I just had a conversation today with somebody. I agree with her.
That is getting scarier, it's scarier by the minute. I'll listen to it while I'm there. Hey, any Diego now? Diego now?
They're going out for, coated this week and then painted next week. And they're installing hopefully the end of, not this week, next week. Not next week, the week after. But I gave them an idea of setting out my property there at the same time. But
You gonna sit there?
Yeah, I'm right.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly, it is what it is.
We could take the chairs out of the corner. There's more chairs right there. You're really unpopular.
They don't want to catch one.
All right, the time is now 6:30. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call. Lynn.
Here.
Sean.
Present.
Don.
Here.
Dean. Linda.
Here.
And Gary.
Here.
Our first order of business is to review and accept the minutes from our August 20th meeting.
There's some problems with that.
Okay.
And I went back and looked at my notes.
Okay.
The first topic, you had listed that 3 members abstained, Lynn, Gary, and Sean. That was, we were against that.
Okay.
We did not abstain, we were against that motion. And then under new business, under the topic selectmen, at the very end, the motion, you have me listed as that I abstained. Also, Gary is listed as abstaining. And you have listed that it passed by 6 votes, and that would be 5 votes.
All right, thank you.
And we were, yeah, we both abstained on that one.
Any other corrections that need to be made? All right. If not,
I move we accept them with the changes.
all right,
Second.
motion has been made by Don and seconded by Lynn to accept the minutes with the changes presented. All right, this time I will open up the floor to citizens' participation. If there's anybody that has somebody, okay, we got a bunch of hands.
We didn't,
Peggy, since you
Did they
stood,
vote?
we didn't vote, did we?
you're right, we did. All those in favor of the motion of the minutes being passed with the corrections, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Peggy.
Hi, Peggy Bory, 324 Fonthill Road. I just want to state some evidence, factuary stuff about the forensic audit. There's still been no evidence presented by the finance department or the selectmen to warrant a forensic audit. Finance department and the first selectman gave control of the PD, payroll to the PD, and would that have been a sound decision if the suspected financial concerns? Last townwide audit, no concerns were brought up at the last town audit. Not only is there no evidence of need for a forensic audit, but the PD has worked with the selectman, the finance director, and the town's attorney to give more oversight to the asset forfeiture account. They used the town's EIN rather than the PD. They allowed the town to open a new bank account specifically for asset forfeiture. They provided the finance director reviewing access to the account and ensured that the finance director receives bank statements first. They created a spreadsheet of all transactions with the descriptions as assigned by the town attorney. They sent copies to all receipts to the finance director, and they signed off on all transactions. First and second, the selectmen circumvented both the Board of Police Commission and the Board of Finance by not allowing the proper procedures and protocols and not reporting concerns to either board. They are now circumventing the town charter and the Board of Finance again by using money originally designated for the annual town audit, mandated by the state in the town budget to pay for the forensic audit. How will they pay for an annual audit when it comes due? How do we justify this expenditure when the money is clearly intended for an annual audit? This was written, and I agree 100% with it, was with Commissioner Colleen Legaskis.
Thank you. Yes,
Good
sir.
evening, Mr. Chairman and members of your board. My name is Paul Sweet, 260 New Road, Moosup, Connecticut. I'm here tonight not to, I want to tread easy because I don't want Linda to get mad at me, but I want to tell you that Monday night, the Board of Selectmen took an action, because the vote was 2-1 to go forward with a forensic audit. Week before that, a lot of people were here that were against it. spoke why they were against it. I spoke against it and gave reasons why. Now, my understanding, they go 2-1, they want to go forward for the audit. The issue at hand here is how you pay for it. It's my understanding that First Selectman said that night that he has a line item in the budget, as auditors, and that line item falls under the finance office. It's been there, it has been there for at least 40 years that I know of, and you all know as I stand here tonight, that the Board of Selectmen appropriate that money according to our charter in order for the Board of Finance to authorize an audit. That gets done at the end of the fiscal year, which this year would be 2026, June 30th, 2026. What's going on now, this forensic audit, is not part of that money. That money is set aside every year to audit the books of the town, Board of Education, and any other department that has something to do with taxpayer money. I want to read something to you tonight from the charter, and it's all based on charter. Under section 10.6 of the charter, C, it says this: no officer or agency of the town shall expend or enter into any contract which obliges the town to expend in excess of an approved appropriation. Any officer who, without authority from this charter of general statutes, expends or causes to be expended any money of the town except in payment of a final judgment rendered against the town shall be liable for civil action in the name of the town and provided under general statutes. This is a non-appropriated expenditure. Nowhere in the budget do you have, in my understanding, $35,000 that's been appropriated. Having said that, you go to section 2.5 of the charter, section B. This is a non-appropriation, a budgetary appropriation, which simply means it came up after the fact. There's a couple of things you can do. I don't recommend it. But under section 10.4, we'll go to 2.5 in a minute. 10.4B, the Board of Finance, upon written request from the Board of Selectmen, may transfer unexpended balances from one appropriation to another in accordance with general statutes. What that's simply saying is, and usually at the end of the year, at least when I was here, April, May, nobody exceeded their bottom line of their budget. However, there were line items within the budget that they exceeded, and the Board of Selectmen could come to you all and say, I need to cover these different overtures. Usually there's a communication with the chairman or a member of the board throughout the year when they know a line was going to get expended. Now, that's our government, okay? That's how we do things. You guys, the Board of Finance, you have to be working together with us, with the Board of Selectmen, in order to make the decisions you need to make, but also be on top of what exactly is going on. Board of Education has the authority to move money around as they choose under statute. That's all fine and good. But here, when you talk about a non-budgeted appropriation of $35,000, okay, that doesn't mean you go to the line item and start picking and choosing and move some money around. That's specifically there to clean up the audit. So when they come in to audit the books, everything looks pretty well and kosher, okay? But under section 2.5B, after recommendation of the Board of Selectmen or the Board of Education and approval from the Board of Finance, any resolution for any non-budget appropriation of the amount more than $10,000 but not to exceed $50,000 after recommendation of the Board of Selectmen or Board of Education and approval by the Board of Finance, the resolution would go forward to a town meeting. So what's going on here, again, in my better judgment, this payroll situation should be able to get fixed in-house. It's a matter of management, taking control and sitting down with the appropriate people and getting this done. However, you guys are not the police department. I'm coming to you tonight to tell you that we're going to violate charter again if this goes down the way it's going down. Because what's going to happen is you take $35,000 away from $45,000 that's in the finance department budget, you're not going to have enough money to do the town audit, which you're required to do under the charter. You have to perform an audit every year. Town provides the money for you. You do your job you got to do. If there's something else that pops up, it talks about audit, in this case here, the so-called forensic audit, they need money to do it. And they need to follow proper procedures to do it. I would not advise this board, under any conditions, to be doing line item transfers in order for this to happen. This needs to run its course. It doesn't say you shall give money, it says you may give money. So that's your discretion whether you move it to a town meeting. But it needs to go to a town meeting because we're circumventing your authority, we're circumventing the charter in order to do what one man wants to do. And I'm not here for political reason, I want to do the right thing. I want everybody to do the right thing. One man don't want to do the right thing. So I can't tell you any more than that. If you don't want to lead, you don't want to bring these people together, get this fixed, so the whole world doesn't need to read about this every day, you ought to do that. There's no reason for this nonsense to go on. There's no reason for forensic audit. There's a fraud audit. By the end of the name, you're looking for something that is contrary, something that you might want to use in a court of law. This does not right. This is a payroll problem. All right? And this thing needs to be resolved in-house. And by all means, you need to be told that that money is not there for fraud. It's a non-budgeted appropriation. We need to appropriate money the right way, through the right channel. Thank you.
Yes.
Naomi Smith, Plainfield. I'm going to take a little bit of your time. I hope that's okay. So I also attended the Board of Selectmen meeting on Monday night. I was quite concerned. Then I started also reviewing minutes of meetings and became even more concerned. So we're going to start with going back to your August 20th meeting. That's going to connect back with your July 17th and 18th Board of Finance meeting. There were reconciliations made without the Board of Finance's authority. I was in attendance at the meeting. They are not reflected. Their minutes are not true reflected of what occurred in that meeting. There was no video, there was no live stream of that meeting that night. So then we move forward to September 8th, where there was a Board of Selectmen meeting, where discussions of the forensic audit was brought up. And I stated in that meeting, I have no issue if you're going to move forward with the forensic audit, but you have to do it the right way because you have to have cause to order for a forensic audit. If we're going after payroll, and that's what's been stated publicly by our selectmen, then that's what you need to confine it to. If you're going to go outside of the confines of payroll, you have to have cause. Right now, there's more cause against our finance department for a forensic audit than there is the police department, unless Ms. Fashion's department would like to produce something forward. So that's concerning for me. We have to be fair. We have to do our diligence. And I'm just going to read for you, Mr. Gorman. So at Board of Selectmen meeting Monday night, Selectman Gaggy decided to state that he had researched and looked into things, and he used Google search and he used AI as a reference point. So I felt if he was allowed to do that and credence was given to that research, that engine, then so could the public. And here's one of the things I'm going to read. If I can get it. In Connecticut, the municipal finance director is prohibited from reconciling line items without proper authorization from the Board of Finance or a town meeting. Taking such action is a serious violation of state statutes, local financial policy, and potentially leading to charges of irregular or unsound financial practices. Connecticut statutes on financial authority, no spending in excess of appropriations. It's Connecticut General Statute 7348 stipulates that no municipal officer, including the finance director, may expend or contract for an amount in excess of what has been appropriated for their department. Board of Finance's authority for amounts over $20,000, any additional appropriation or transfer between departments must be voted on and approved by the town. The contingency fund, while the Board of Finance can appropriate up to 3% of the total budget into a contingency fund, any expenditure or transfer must from this fund still requires an approval from the Board of Finance. And I could go on, and it's not good. What I was also concerned about, in the lack of the reflection in the meeting minutes, is that on the selectmen meeting dated for September 8, it says Naomi Smith agreed that if the payroll issue has been resolved, why is the need for the audit if there are other issues with the town finance? Audit the finance office as well. But I also discussed the reconciliation of the line items, which is not properly reflected in the Board of Selectmen meetings. You were not in attendance July 18th when the Board of Finance had that meeting. So I don't know if you're aware, Mr. Sean, that was discussed. So in light of fairness and transparency, there was discussion that line items had been reconciled and they had not voted on that.
I realized that, and I talked to the chairman, the Board of Finance chairman, explained the reason why. I did an Excel spreadsheet to show the numbers tied. I discussed with him, if we want to correct it, I'll take them out and then produce the financial statement. But at that time, we didn't.
You don't have the authority to do that,
Okay.
and you overrode the Board of Finance and Mr. Gorman. You also, sir, do not have the authority, and you brought it to a vote, and it was illegal. And it's okay if you made a mistake, right? Because we all make mistakes. But maybe the police have too in certain areas, we don't know. Things can happen. So.
If you could address me. please.
Sure. So in our charter, in 7359, you are the budget-making authority. If you haven't gotten that, it's pretty clear in the statute. In our charter, it also states the Board of Selectmen shall institute, prosecute, defend, or compromise any legal action or proceeding by or against the town.
Can you read that again, please?
I sure can. Section 5.5, additional powers bestowed to the Board of Selectmen shall institute, must institute, prosecute, defend, compromise any legal action or proceeding by or against the town. I'm also going to agree with Mr. Sweet. So if we go to your August meeting, there was, or July meeting, there was a recess had where Mr. Peterson asked the selectmen to bring the contract in front of the Board of Finance. That contract was voted on. That money has now been allocated. So that line item cannot be used for anything else other than the contract for CBIZ. My other concern is, and this is off topic for a minute, in the Board of Selectmen meeting, it was stated that there was $39,000 in the line item, but the appropriation in it was like 45 to 48. So I'm not sure where that money's going unless it was actually like some kind of, a deposit for CBIZ. So I'd be interested to know where the reflection differs there. Misappropriations of funds is a serious, serious matter. And it can have very, very damaging effects on our town. So in Connecticut, the municipal finance director using appropriate funds for a non-budgeted item without the Board of Finance consent, which is what was voted on Monday night, to bypass the budget-making authority of the Board of Finance and to bypass a town vote, which our charter requires over 10 and under 50. Without the Board of Finance's consent is a serious offense that can constitute misappropriation of public funds, and this is a betrayal of public trust that can lead to criminal charges, civil penalties, and other consequences. So we cannot be having this. It's a violation of procedural process, not only of our charter, but of state statute. There can be civil liabilities. Google and AI state that if it happens, any officer who overrides statutory process or a town charter coming out of a finance department or board of finance, it doesn't matter, it can be reported to the state elections enforcement, the auditor of public accounts, the local police department, state's attorney, your town's local ethics. The other thing that happened, in my opinion, and I'll let you know further when I go in front of the ethics board at their next meeting, in our charter we have conflict of interest. And a conflict of interest exists when an officer and employee's duty to give undivided personal interest and loyalty to the town can be prejudiced by actual or potential financial or personal benefit from another source. And C, 2, any officer or employee of the town who has a substantial personal and financial interest, direct or indirect, in a vote, decision, contract, or sale shall disclose that interest to the Board of Selectmen or the Board of Commission or an agency having jurisdiction over the issue, and shall refrain from voting upon or otherwise participating in his capacity as a town officer and employee in said vote, decision, contract, or sale. Everyone in the town knows right now, Mr. Gagnon is running for office against former Chief of Police Michael Supernaut. He made the motion to move forward with the forensic audit on a fishing expedition that there's been no cause brought for. And that to me is a conflict of interest. He has a personal gain to be had in that. He should have either recused.
Dean, can I ask for a point of clarification?
Yes, please.
How is this tied into Mr. Supernaut for clarification purposes? Is the audit going back to his tenure?
2017
It's
is
going
what
back
the
to
Board of
his
Selectmen
tenure?
asked for Monday night.
Thank you. I just want to hear that on the record. So, never mind.
No?
Never mind. I don't want to say anymore. Thank you.
So that to me is a problem. The police commission at Monday night's meeting made a motion, read off a resolution, and are now, with their authority, subpoenaing members of our finance department. I don't know how far this is going to go, but this is not good for our town. It's not good for our finance department, it's not good for our police officers, it's not good for the boards and commissions. And how far does it go? And who's going to say enough's enough? If you're going to audit under a forensic audit, it is a blatant accusation of malfeasance, and you have to have cause. And if you're going to do one department, you now have cause to do two, as of what happened July 17th at this Board of Finance meeting. So, you can shrug, Mrs. Vashon, but you work for the taxpayers of the town of Plainfield. Please treat me accordingly.
When we get audited, I'm getting audited too.
Only
Where
for
do you
the
think my
police.
Where do you think all the documents come from?
Wait.
Point of order,
Yes, thank you.
all the comments are to be addressed to the chair of the board. There's not going to be any cross-talking. If you choose to make a public comment whenever you call upon.
So, I would say, I would have liked to have seen on the agenda tonight for the Board of Finance a resolution to stop any money coming out of the audit appropriation line item. It cannot. So now we cannot move on this and say we didn't know and ask for forgiveness instead of permission. And that's all.
Anybody else? Yes.
Hi, Virginia Allen. I just have a couple of questions on the current budget presentation for, I'm assuming this is July and August?
Okay.
Okay. So my questions involve, first of all, is there a way that this budget, monthly budget analysis can be presented with the current month's budget?
Yeah.
Or budget to date with the actual as opposed to the year-to-date budget, showing all these.
Oh, okay, I
Do you see what I'm
misunderstood.
saying?
You're wanting a month breakdown.
If you're giving me a month of actual or year-to-date actuals,
Mhm.
then can you give me budget-to-date actuals as opposed to a full year's budget with the actual? Do you want me to show you what I'm talking about?
You don't have that kind of stuff.
No?
No.
Okay. My other question is, on human resources. There's a $55,000 year-to-date budget. We've already expensed out $41,000.
We'll probably cover that when we get to the next segment.
Okay, thank you. And my final question is a lot of these things, do we front load or prepay? Do we prepay a lot of these
Yes.
items that are shown? Okay, that was my question, thank you.
Anyone else? All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
It's something to refresh my mind as far as
public discussion. I thought it was supposed to be on the items on the agenda.
No.
No?
It's citizens' participation.
Anything that before the board?
You want to look that up?
Excuse me, it was my understanding that we can go off the agenda. We can't on special meetings.
Right. You can't do it on.
Yeah, there's no public discussion.
Some meetings
Right.
won't let you discuss items on the agenda. Every meeting's different.
Well, special meetings is strictly one topic and nothing can be.
Special meetings, they don't allow citizens participation.
Regular meeting, yeah, they can bring it, whatever, right now. That's as far as I know.
I mean, personally, I think, I have no problem with the discussion, but I think we should have motioned it on the agenda before anything was discussed. And then they could talk about it.
Okay.
Well, I think they were talking on citizens' participation.
Right.
They told us what
Well,
they wanted to say.
they just mentioned us taking action tonight on not approving any line item transfers. We can't do that.
We can if we make a motion now to add to our agenda.
Yes.
Now is when we have to
Yeah.
move on with our business. If we're done with citizens' participation.
Well, I believe that we're done with citizens' participation. Now we'll make the decision whether we want to add to
So
agenda.
I move to add it to the agenda.
Move to, motion
Add
to add.
the- Motion to add the forensic audit discussion to the agenda.
Okay, motion is made to add the discussion of forensic audit to the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Lynn, seconded by Sean. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of adding the discussion on forensic audit to our agenda, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Nay.
All right, we have 4 that say aye and 2 that say nay, so the motion passes. I will begin this discussion.
Well, we're adding that as D, correct?
Yes.
So that will go to the end of the
Oh, you want to
agenda.
go to the end?
Yeah.
Or we would discuss
We
it?
add, but that's.
Well, usually that will go to the end.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next order of business will then be to discuss and act upon the financial report as presented by the Board of Ed. At this time, I would welcome the superintendent to the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Paul Brunson. As you're gathering your documents, this is a great opportunity for me to tell the community that Friday night, 7 o'clock, Plainfield Panthers have our first home football game. Pitched a shutout in our last game, 8-0. It's a great thing for you to do if you want to come out, 8 o'clock, Plainfield High School. This meeting has been brought to you by 35 Steaks for $20. Sorry, I am taking this very seriously. We're in very good shape in the current fiscal year. If you look in your documents, we have finished up our EFS state reporting that was submitted by Friday, August 29th to the state. That reporting showed a remaining budget balance for last year of $320,355.69. Now that is an unaudited remaining budget balance from last year. And as Mrs. Vashon would caution me to say, I'm going to continue to say that's unaudited until the audit is fully completed. All purchase orders have been closed over. There is a need to push back accrued wages for 4 payroll periods in the summer that still need to be accrued back, but that applies to this year's budget and not last year's budget. So at this moment, we're going forward with that. I should let you know that we're still working with Jeremy to help make sure that we have everything set for CBIZ for the audit. We have a meeting on the 19th with Jeremy and his team. There's 33 items that are due to the Board of Education for the budget for the end of this month. We're about 80% done with them. We will have all 30 of those items completed prior to the end of the month submission. And then CBIZ Markham starts their audit and they'll turn around and those 30 items will become folders that fold down and they'll ask for other things. But at this point, this marks my 5th year in the town of Plainfield now as superintendent. We're farther ahead now than we've been in any of the previous years. As far as work on the current approved budget, if you take a look, you can see the work that we completed over the summer and the other items. We are operating within the current budget. We don't see any things that are surprises. At the Board of Education meeting, I did mention to the Board of Education that we are about to enter 2 major items. The first one is our transportation RFP. Transportation within our budget is about $3.5 million. That is the largest contract that we do. That goes out to bid. Currently, our provider is DAGVA. It's our intent to have that RFP closed and determined before January because we need those numbers when we present the town our budget in January. Second piece is that we are entering into negotiations with our largest bargaining unit, that is the PEA, the Plainfield Education Association. And we just this morning, I owe you an email, set our first meeting for when we're going to be doing that, setting that. That'll start about mid-October. Last item is if you take a look at the health insurance account. The health insurance account for us looks stable right now. I do know that ultimately us in the town will have to look at options, including the state plan based on the future of each other. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
For clarification, the PTA, which,
Plainfield Education Association, that's our teachers union?
that's your teachers union?
That's our teachers union. By far our largest group.
An email was sent out and mentioning the clean trial balance. Where are we with that? Do we have any?
Are you speaking the email Kelly sent today?
Yeah.
I wasn't able to open whatever file Kelly had sent, so I can't speak to that.
Okay.
That wasn't the file that I sent you. I sent you the school disbursement file, the PDF. I sent it over today. That was just school disbursement, nothing to do with the trial balance. I talked to Mark Kyle today about the audit, and he said, the audit, once we get a clean trial balance, we'll start our audit.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
That's all my preference.
All right. I'll reach out to Courtney and ask her where we're at with that.
Absolutely.
How to start the school year go?
You know, a really nice start to the school year. It's great to have the SRO. I appreciate the Board of Finance and the town's support on that. We had the emergency where a child ate a gummy that got far more media attention than perhaps it deserved. It was great to have the SRO on campus to help us out with that. We're currently working on programs like the DARE program, which I think is fantastic. We're building great relationships with people in the schools. All of the schools have gotten off to a nice start, and I don't know how volleyball did today, but they were on 3 West Street, and kids like when you're winning. So that's been pretty strong. Good start, strong start to pre-K. Typical start of the year jitters. I would say that our biggest issues this year at the start of the year related to transportation. I would note that DAGCO, which supplies our routes, also took on the town of Thompson. So that's been a bit of a stretch for DAGCO, but I've already met with their leadership that they've actually brought in additional drivers from the state of Rhode Island to resolve any issues that they were having with routes. With that, I'd also just like to mention, I mentioned in our last meeting, I don't know how long we need to be in this area. High school library is available to the Board of Finance if you would like it. I've already checked. It's available October 15th. Just a little bit more revenue air conditioning. And I can throw out a pitch that at the Costco meeting I just left, they had snacks.
It's not in our budget.
It'll Costco.
We don't have it.
You're right, you're not appropriate. My apologies.
All right. Any other questions?
Anything we're nervous about going into the winter? Building wise?
No, nothing we're particularly nervous about. My largest piece right now is just trying to be sure we can fill the non-certified positions. We just hired a security guard, that's someone coming in. I have 7 open paraprofessional positions. I have 2 open bus monitor positions. So on certified staff, we're in great shape. On non-certified staff, we need to handle some of those things. But our facilities crew's been doing a good job. Tackling level of detail, things like just replaced all the tires on the music trailer to make sure that that's always good when it travels. So I'm really pleased with the team's doing.
Any other questions? All right. I'll entertain a motion that we accept the this financial report as presented?
I move.
All right, motion made by Don and seconded by Sean to approve this financial presentation as presented. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye.
No, I was just reminding you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Opposed?
I'll abstain.
All right.
You know me.
Okay. All right, next item on our agenda is the discussion of the financial report for fiscal year ending 2025. From what I saw, that there was only one real significant change in that the property tax, there was 979,000 outstanding, and now we're at 595,000. So we collected quite a bit.
Yeah, 60-day collection was part of that. I have the book, what you collected in July and August, that pertained to the prior year,
Yep.
so that represents the bulk of it.
Okay. The other question I had on that first page of planning and zoning, we kind of went backwards. We have, because we had available 11,000,
Yeah.
and now we have available 15,000. That's due to us. What, do we know what happened there?
I can look it up and tell you, we'll send you all an email about that, I don't know. Okay, planning and zoning, we have to send, money to the state of Connecticut, depending on how many
Okay.
permits you have, that could represent that, that's where that comes out. So I'll look into it and then I'll email you all and tell you, but that's my assumption.
Most everything else pretty much stayed the same. Anybody else have any questions on this one?
On page one or the whole thing?
On any of them?
I was just curious about the police mechanics. Still 23,000.
Oh, if a person's out on workers' comp, then we get,
Oh, okay.
you don't incur the full expense to
Oh,
town.
okay. That's,
That represents it.
okay.
Any other questions?
Where are we with presenting this to the audit firm?
I'm sorry?
Where are we with presenting this to the audit firm?
Oh, I had a discussion with Kyle today, and he said once we get a clean trial balance, he will start with the audit. I am still reconciling my e-chip account and dog fund account. Those are different, Fund 18 and Fund 14. Those are items that are still outstanding.
What's our timeline?
I would say by the end of September, I'll be good to go.
End of September?
Yes. And at that time, Kyle directed us and the school board to send him an email, once we have a clean trial balance, email it to him, and it's to go. I asked if it was any special date he was going to start, and he said no, he's flexible.
Any other questions? All right. I'll entertain a motion that we accept this financial report for the year ending 2025 as presented. Okay, motion to accept the presentation made by Don. Do I have a second?
A second.
Motion made and seconded by Don. Motion made by Don, seconded by Lynn. Sorry. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstained?
Thanks.
Next is a discussion of the financial report for this current fiscal year.
Can I point something out on page 1?
Okay.
You can see on page 1, Town Aid Road, we already received $192,000. That money is going to be more than what we budgeted this year. The state appropriated more funds for Town Aid than what they originally budgeted. You can't use those funds because it's not appropriated in your budget, but you will receive more money, you know, it'll roll forward.
What am I looking at, Kelly?
On Town Aid Roads, on the first
Oh, I see.
page,
Okay.
5102, and it was $192,000.
How much more did he give us?
So our first payment's 192, so we budgeted 287.
Okay.
I would assume I'm gonna get another one, usually they double up the payments, so I would say another 100,000.
And we can't use it to be a budget.
Correct.
So we go to town meeting and ask you.
Exactly, that's what you would have to do, yeah. You can roll that forward, though. Town Aid Road can roll forward and so can LoSiP. The emergency management grant that we get, you can see it on the page, it's budgeted $7,534. I received that today, so that's accounted for.
And we got that amount.
Yep, I did. There's a credit in the recreation revenue that represents a refund to the summer camp. I printed out the recreation department, the fund that I was creating for the recreation. This is an example, I only have one copy. This is briefly what it will look like, so you can see the cash, the revenue, the expenditures. Not up to date, okay? But this is an example of what it's going to look like.
And this is quarterly or monthly?
You can do it monthly, it's just
Okay.
we're not up to date with that. And I can run it as a financial statement similar to what you're looking at right now.
This looks good to me.
Yeah.
And this is just an example.
That's just an example, that's recreation, yeah.
Thank you, Kelly.
That'll show you your expenditures and your revenue coming in. So you'll know what your aerobics classes are costing you versus what you're taking in. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
She'll have that monthly, yeah, but
Yeah,
we-
yeah,
we've
I'll have it
already
for,
made
I'll
arrangements
give it
for
to
her
you for
come in.
October, yeah. Once I get it up to date, I'll email it to you,
Mhm.
and you guys can look at it.
When will the 60-day collection be resolved?
Well, it's posted and it posts back, you know,
By the end
so
of
it's
this month?
all resolved. So now what the auditor will come in and he'll review that to make sure it's accurate.
Okay,
You know, he'll pull records from Karen, look at my records and make sure it's accurate.
all right.
Mhm.
On to the next page, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to the one that was already brought up, the HR department.
That is a contract that we did with NEPA, Northeast Council of Government. They have an ad out in the paper right now to hire an HR position, and it's regional. So it would cover whoever's part of NEPA. If they wanted to use their services, they could use the services for a fee. So that's the fee they're charging Plainfield to use HR.
So what do we get for that?
They come down to Plainfield, I want to say 2 days a week, and at that time, if there's any HR issues, they can hear them from employees or do some of the reports. We have a lot of HR reports that we have to do, that's mandated, so that too.
This will be a certified HR person.
As far as I know, I don't know who, I don't know if they hired anyone yet, okay? I can let you know once that, if they hire anyone. I don't even know if it's fulfilled yet, but that is what that money represents.
Have we already paid them?
Yes.
Have they started providing the services yet?
No, not yet.
When will they start providing the
October
services?
1st, it's supposed to be October 1st. That's what the contract says.
So that October 1st, somebody will be available to us.
Yes, and if they cannot, I will let you know.
And that's a one-time deal for the year?
Yes.
That price?
Yes.
Two days a week, that's 8 hours a day?
I don't know how many hours. I'd have to look at the exact contract. But as far as I know, it was 2 days.
Any other questions on this page? Anybody have questions on page 3? Any questions on page 4? On the police department, school resource, I imagine that's what we pay during the summer months.
Yes.
So we won't see any movement on that for a while.
Unless there's orders. Yeah.
Possibly during Christmas?
I don't know their schedule. I can't really answer that.
Anyone else have any questions on 4? We may have asked this last month, but on page 5 on engineering, that's a one-time expense that's paid at the beginning of the year on Nearmap.
Yes. Yes, and they just gave that. That came up in the
You missed it
discussion.
in planning too.
What?
It's in planning too.
They all
Planning
share
Just
it,
above it.
and it's in the assessors too.
So that-
I looked that one for you.
Assessor has it in her
Training.
computer. I want to say her computer. I think it's under computers. So you can, that's the map read one, correct? Like you can go online? Yeah. It's under computers.
So what is it, like 10,000 total or?
Yeah, 10,000 or 8,000, I want to say.
I just.
Maybe 7,000, 6,000 and change. I think 6,000 and change.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions on 6?
Sick and vacation,
Yep.
are we still good there? You got 58% left.
Sick and vacation, at the beginning of July, 2 union contracts can get paid out
Okay,
for their sick and vacation.
okay.
So they took advantage of that, so that's what that represents.
Okay.
It should be enough, yes. And health insurance, as the superintendent noted, we may have to make changes with that for next year's budget. The state plan or go self-funded, so we don't quite sure what's gonna happen with that. That will be a big increase in that line. The market rate now, for self-funded, not the state plan, increases are 20 to 30%.
The IT's already down to 75%. How are we gonna be around that, or are we in trouble?
The contract will be good. We should be good. You can see probate line item, there's 0 expended right now, but that'll be paid shortly to the probate office. 0% to the town.
Is that paid all at once or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions on 6? All right, page 7, on the purchase services, what's the regularity on the NECOG payments?
Okay, so that represents NECOG, the paramedic transport. So we pay that every month, and it depends on how many transports you have,
Okay.
and whether a paramedic is involved in the transport or not. There's different fees. So I could always show you an invoice, and you could see that.
And then Meals on Wheels, Kelly, didn't they discontinue that or something?
As far as I know, correct, Meals on Wheels discontinued?
Well, we still have the train, we get the Fridays and then we add, that's what the Fridays are, the
Oh,
frozen.
okay.
Yeah.
Northeast Transit District, is that pretty much, we can be okay there, is that?
Yes,
Paid out?
that's a one payment, that's
One payment?
one payment for the year, that's done.
We over budgeted it?
We over budgeted, yes.
911 dispatch also?
911 dispatch, yes.
That's one thing.
That number, yes, that's a one-time payment, we're done. That number we did get from 911 dispatch, so I don't know.
And then Department of Health,
They might have got a grant for the city.
pay out twice a year?
Department of Health is twice a year, yes, there's one more payment coming.
So let's go back 1 second. Who do we pay 911 dispatch to?
Quinnipiac Valley 911 or something like that it's called? Yeah. It's 911.
Any other questions on 7?
Make a motion, we,
Well, I do have one more question, actually a couple questions on
Oh.
this page. On the police SUV Tahoe, is that the total cost?
Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
And road construction, do we have any type of update that's happening there?
Road construction, yes, they're paving shortly. As far as I know, soon, like in the middle of September, I was told. That's for last year's funds, not representing this current year fund. We went out to bid for it in June, received the bid, so the money that we're paving will be for last year's budget, not this one.
Household hazardous waste?
Household hazardous waste, you had the day, I
We had
haven't,
the day, we haven't received.
yeah, I haven't
it.
received the invoice yet. I'll look into that.
The assessor's vehicle, what's the story on that? I know that was something
We went out to bid for it, received the bid, I want to say it was like 24,000. They placed the order, so I'm just waiting for it to come in.
Any other questions? All right. I will entertain the motion that we accept this financial report as presented.
I'll make the motion to accept this.
All right, motion made by Sean, do I have a second? Seconded by Lynn. Any other discussion? All in favor? Say aye. Opposed? Abstained?
Yep.
Okay. All right. At this point, the last item on our agenda was to discuss the forensic audit. Well, I'm going to kind of re-echo everything that's been said already, because I've given this a lot of thought. I've heard from, I don't know how many people. But I will make my comments and then we'll open a discussion. In June, we passed the budget. And there's a line item on there that said audit. That traditionally has been money that is designated for the annual audit that has to be completed, mandated by the state of Connecticut. In July, we received a contract for the following year from CBIZ. That contract was accepted and voted on and approved by the Board of Finance. So the $48,000 that was allocated for that has already been accounted for. The other thing that I will say is that a forensic audit in the 5 years that I have been on this board has never come before us before. So that is not a reoccurring annual operating expense. That being said, since there's no line item for it, you really technically cannot make a line item transfer. So the only process going forward is to request an appropriation. And that is the best course of action. It is the most appropriate course of action. And that is the course of action that I would consider. And nothing else. And that is my position on this. So I will open up to the rest of the board if they would like to make any contributions or thoughts that they would like to share.
When is this gonna take place, number one? And then, what date did this go up to bid? What the date it went up to bid?
What's it, Don? I don't know what you're talking about.
The audit,
The
right?
forensic audit or
Yeah.
the audit
Yeah.
from CBIZ?
No.
Forensic audit.
Yeah, I watched the tape from Monday night there, some late Monday night, some early this morning. So I guess it went up to bid, and then I did some research, so it's already been up to bid and accepted.
The
What the-
forensic audit.
Yeah, the forensic audit is what I'm talking about. When did that go up to bid, is what I want to know. What was the date?
August and August. I don't know the exact say like August 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wasn't here that day.
Do we don't put that out in public when that's going out there, or do we? Or what date did they,
Like, where do I post it? Like,
yeah, where do they
public?
get posted?
I get posted on the Connecticut website. It's a bid site, State of Connecticut. Yeah.
Okay, because everybody else know other than that, or we don't. It used to be, I
That's
know once
public.
upon a time you didn't see it in the paper or something like that, so.
Well,
but
It
I don't
didn't go local because there's not many accounting agencies local that do that, so we branched out and used the State of Connecticut bid site.
Okay.
Mhm.
And who makes that decision to put it up there? I mean, is that done by the board of selectmen, or
Yeah.
they say they tell you to do that? Okay, what day was that made? That's what, not to go back there. Because I'm going to meetings, I only went back in time, end of July. When that decision was made,
I
put in that,
Kelly should know
Huh?
that.
okay, Gavin, if you can answer that.
I can't give you the exact date on that, but I would like to ask a question.
Yeah.
You're putting this onto a meeting to discuss times, dates, information.
Right.
It would have been nice to have that on the agenda prior so we could actually come up with this information.
Well, my response to that would be, I had no formal knowledge of this taking place until late Monday night. So, since this is not a special meeting, we have the right to motion to add to our agenda. And quite frankly, my phone is blown up and I'm receiving contact from a variety of people, including the press. And I would like to address this situation before it becomes too far out of control. And quite frankly, I don't like being in this spot. And I think that we need to back up and take a close look at what we are doing, why we are doing it, and doing it the right way.
Can I
The
comment
money
on
was
that?
already accounted for. So if you are looking for additional funds, it's an appropriation and it has to come before the Board of Finance. And even before it gets to the Board of Finance, there are other steps that need to be taken. I mean, in my mind, it's that simple. And if we can have open conversation as to what's going on, why it's going on, and what exactly the purpose behind this is, then we can accomplish something positive. We said the Pledge of Allegiance a while ago. We said, one nation under God. We need to become one Plainfield. We need to get together and figure out what our challenge is and discuss the best way to go forward that accomplishes the most in the most effective way possible, the most efficient way possible, without costing the town more money. That's my thought.
Can I just speak on Don's, I think
Yeah.
what you're trying to do. We know Kelly put it out to bid around the beginning of August, and that was under the direction of, I assume, Board of Selectmen. And so the Board of Selectmen had to discuss it prior to the first week in August. So if we went back through your minutes, is it safe to say that that's going to be documented in your minutes somewhere prior to August?
Last meeting in July, I looked at that one.
Can I be a little more specific? This item came up between me, Dean, Kelly, and Kevin about 3 or 4 years ago in Kevin's office. And we all basically agreed to look into it. All 4 of us,
To have a forensic audit of
Yes.
the police department?
yes.
So maybe you can tell us, what was that about? What?
I can't
how
remember
did that-
exactly.
You don't remember why?
Some of, I don't know, some of the accounts going on, I guess. I can't exactly sure, but I know we had a discussion on it.
Must have been serious.
And you didn't have it?
We
No,
never
Kevin
had.
never followed up on it at that point.
We had a discussion,
Yeah.
but we never followed up on it. We never came to any conclusion, at least from our perspective.
Because once in a while, I would ask Kelly if anything happened, she didn't know either. And that was about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly when it was ago.
So what we're running about now?
I don't know what's brought it about now. And honestly, I don't remember what brought it back up then, do you?
Well, I'm just hoping this isn't a reaction to some other things that have happened this year. I'm really hoping that's not the situation.
As you can see, it's been around a while,
But not active lines.
No.
not active.
So is it a payroll issue?
No,
That
no,
they
no.
have to
I don't remember anything about payroll.
audit?
Yeah, but still, that nobody did.
No,
I think to get back
there's
on
never follow up on
It
it.
was just a discussion.
Right.
Yeah,
I think to get back on track, that we, as the Board of Finance, and having control of it, at least, you know what I mean. Maybe what Naomi brought up was to make a resolution as the Board of Finance that none of the money be spent as of this point in time. And we need to shake this out somehow. If the Board of Selectmen choose to come before us and ask for the money, and then we make a decision at that time. But
I think we should make a motion that the audit line item needs to stay and be left alone for the annual audit, period. That's what that's for. It's for an annual audit, not for a forensic audit. It's for an annual audit.
would that accomplish the same thing that we're not trying to do?
Pretty much.
Okay.
But not have to create a resolution, and who would create the resolution and all that paperwork.
You gonna put the motion in words?
I would like to make a motion that the Board of Finance take the line item in this year's budget that is listed under audit and make that only to be used for the annual audit, which is what it was intended for.
All right, so that's a formal motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made by Stahl, seconded by Lynn, stating that the line item audit be restricted to be used for the end of the year audit only.
Correct.
See this, and it was already appropriated. You have a copy of that letter, right? Or the contract, or?
I don't think we,
No.
We didn't put
It's
it in-
probably my truck.
it's in the
No, but I
minutes.
mean, it's, yeah.
We accepted the contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the minutes.
It's in the minutes first,
how much was
July
that,
16th.
how much was the contract?
The total was 57,
The contract's,
57,750.
the audit line item is not even enough to cover the contract. if I remember.
But it's a
Yeah,
shared
yes,
expense.
it is.
Is it?
yes, it's a shared expense between the town and the board.
The town, the ed, WPC, and dog fund.
Was it in addition to contract? Because they're already on the contract already.
Correct, but we basically set
There was a
they had
price
an increase, and we,
With $500.
So
Yeah.
motion
Yes.
is withdrawn.
So you approve that addition to contract,
Yes.
like an addendum?
Discuss the
It was just
contract
like,
and approve
I don't know, you didn't have to make a motion to do it because you signed the contract.
Yeah.
So that was the need.
so that we weren't dragging our feet at the last minute. We got it in place, it was ready to go.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Is there any other discussion on that matter? If there isn't, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I have a question first.
Okay.
So now that we've done that, what happens next with
Well,
that?
the next thing that has to happen is a decision has to be made whether they're going to proceed with the pursuit of a forensic audit, and if so, they need to follow the procedures that for
Line item.
appropriations.
Or-
It can't be a line item. contracts, technically they
No,
can't.
no.
Oh, well, that's why I said, well, tell me.
I haven't, I haven't seen any, nothing, no document,
No
I have a
documentation.
question.
still don't have any document.
It's
Okay.
my understanding that the Board of Selectmen rep signed a contract already?
Yeah,
Is there a contract signed?
I don't think so, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, no.
Well, even if they did, according to the charter, they'd be allowed for it.
All right. Any other discussion? All right, do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, do we have a second? Second. Motion made by Lynn, seconded by Sean, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained?
Already voted.